con Helen Cross, especialista inglesa en epilepsia, en el Congreso de la Sociedad Europea en Bruselas, dentro del simposium de EISAI. Primera cuestión es un poco cómo definiríamos epilepsia. Primera cuestión, la definición general o epilepsia.
Epilepsy is a condition where individuals are prone to recurrent epileptic seizures. Epileptic seizures occur when there's a change in the electrical activity in the brain, causing a change in awareness, or a change in movement, or a change in behaviour that is beyond the control of the individual.
Today is possible the disapparition of epilepsy?
Certainly 60 to 70% of individuals who have a diagnosis of epilepsy, we can stop the seizures with regular medication. But there are 30% of individuals who continue to have seizures despite our medication, and they provide more of a challenge to us to treat.
The people, children, niños, es especial damage for epilepsy.
Children give us particular challenges. 40 to 50% of children who are diagnosed with epilepsy continue long term. Many of the epilepsies there are different types of epilepsy, start in childhood, and that can provide us difficulties with diagnosis, not just from diagnosing whether it's epilepsy or not, but also the type of epilepsy, and also getting medications correct because of the impact of both the epilepsy and the medication on learning and development.
The main target of the last trial of company laboratory, company pharmaceutical, concrete resultado, el resultado general de los últimos avances en investigación. ¿Traduce en inglés un poco? Los últimos avances.
Which have been the recent or the latest breakthroughs when it comes to the treatment, to new drugs to treat epilepsy?
Okay. The most breakthroughs that we've had over recent years with regard to epilepsy is firstly our discovery of different types, different causes of epilepsy, particularly genetic causes of epilepsy, and associating that with different types of epilepsy. And with our experience, we can see which medications may work and which medications may not work. Of course, we have new medications that come on board all the time, and the advantage of the newer medications, such as levetiracetam, perampanel, cinesamide, as newer medications, is their side effect profile is less than what we had with the older medications. They're less sedating, they may give us more control with less side effects. So we move forward in two ways: finding out the causes of the epilepsy so we can target the cause rather than just the seizures, but also the newer medicines that may give us lesser side effects.
Una pregunta, sí, Belén, sí.
It has to do with new treatments. And I was thinking that there's an article by Brody, and he did like a story of the treatment of epilepsy starting at the Glasgow group, and then he found out, or that's what he said at least, that in 10 or 12 years the percentage of control patients had only increased 4%, which is not much.
No.
Now that we have new mechanism of action like the AMPA receptor agonist, is there a reason to believe that that is going to change? I mean, that new mechanism of action is going to mean a bigger percentage of control patients, or we have to wait and see?
We hope so. I know the work that suggests that we haven't gained any more control of seizures, but that's where we're looking at lesser side effects for our patients.
That's important too,
That's equally important. But also, with the new mechanisms of action, we hope that that will improve our control. But also, it's finding the causes of the epilepsy so that we can direct our treatments at those causes, rather than just taking a presumption that excitability of the membranes is what's likely to lead to seizures.
Okay. Thank you.
In the meeting you did the epilepsy share, very complex.
Yes, epilepsy is complex. It's not one disorder. Epilepsy is a symptom. It's being prone to recurrent epileptic seizures. There are many, many different types of epilepsy and many, many different causes, which means you have to look at the individual to decide which treatment is likely to best suit them. You cannot just give one diagnosis of epilepsy and say this is going to be the treatment.
The last question. The main challenge for the transition niños adolescentes.
Yeah. The main challenge in transition is actually making sure that they get handed over to somebody who understands them and their epilepsy, depending on where in the spectrum of the epilepsy they really are. Because there is a whole spectrum. There's the individuals who've got seizure control and lead an independent life, right the way down to individuals who have a lot of disability and need total care and have ongoing seizures. And whereas in paediatrics, that is one approach to the medical service, and education is very key in that. When you go into adulthood, there may be different types of specialists dealing with different aspects. And the challenge of transition is to make sure that there's a holistic approach for the individual and they have ongoing care.
¿Alguna pregunta, Helen?
No.
Thank you, Helen Cross.
No problem. Thank you.